don't you sit over there for me, would you? Cuffs on or off?
Go ahead and take them off.
Stand up. Knee forward just tiny bit. Thank you. Maybe we'll take them off. Shows how often I get out of the office. Once you have a seat, I'll try to get out.
About half a cup was a good statement, though.
What's that?
About half a cup was a fashion statement.
Oh, yeah, good point, good
Swing
point.
around. As much jewelry as you can have.
You got a different key on your crystal? This key doesn't
I
seem to
don't.
be. Couple
Can you get another
detectives.
Do you have another key? You can cuff off.
Yeah, jinxed and bad keys.
Well, I purposely didn't bring mine.
Maybe I should have brought different cuffs. This cup doesn't want to come off. Yeah, we're gonna have to. This one
Cut it off?
might have to. It won't budge. It'll go tighter, but it won't come off. I dug these out of my desk this morning. That's why.
You're too old, huh?
Apparently, yeah.
You yank that side, I'll yank this side.
Nope.
Ah, okay, that's not gonna work.
That's
That
not
hurt.
gonna work.
Okay,
No.
here, maybe just let someone else try. Maybe.
No, if you get it
No,
off,
it's
I'm
open.
gonna be very sad.
Okay, maybe you're right.
I'm pretty sure those are my oldest cups ever.
All right.
All right, well, we'll wait for
Okay.
you just hang out with a cuff on.
Alrighty.
We'll get that off before.
Come here a second. We're gonna get those off. How do you want to do this? Right there. Yeah, it's usually the best. For the love of God, don't move me. Good? Yep, we're gonna go. And we get over here, so we can. I'm gonna get. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Good? There you go.
Good.
There you go. All right. One more? Yeah. Slide it through? I don't think I can. Oh, well, maybe I can go the other way. Yeah. Wait a minute. There we go. You want that?
Good?
No.
No injuries?
Let me see. Ah, that's good looking. All right, have a seat. When you want to step out,
Yeah?
push this up like that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Working out to be a great day, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I realize this isn't working out to be a very good day for you. But, like I said, I talked to everybody else, and everybody else has kind of decided that it was in their best interest to come forward and talk about what happened. From what I understand from the situation, it wasn't intentional that the press box was going to be burned down. So, and that works in your favor. And if you're honest with me, I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Before I can talk to you, though, I do have to read your Miranda because you're just not free to leave here. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Okay. You have the continuing right to remain silent, to stop questioning at any time. Anything you say can be used as evidence against you. You have the continuing right to consult with and have the presence of an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney will be appointed for you. Do you understand these rights?
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish to waive these rights and talk with me at this time?
I don't know.
The thing is, if we start talking and you want to stop, You can do that too.
That had nothing to do with the damn thing.
Well, I
If I
mean,
knew calling in was a crime, I would have just let the thing burn.
okay. Well, I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to say what you want to say about this matter. It's up to you whether or not you take it.
Sure, we can talk, but I got nothing to say.
Alright. Like I said before, as honest as you can be with me is how much I can help you. So if we start off from the beginning and you tell me exactly what happened, and I mean it's something that you didn't wish that happened, or something that you'd like to make right, I think those things are going to help you out. If you try to con me and tell me I didn't have anything to do with this, I can tell you, Nate, it's not going to help you out. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to start from the beginning, go ahead and tell me what happened.
How did I get dragged into this?
How did you get dragged into it?
Hmm?
How did you get dragged into it?
How did I get dragged into here?
Well, I mean, I think you know why you're sitting here. If I didn't have enough to bring you down here, obviously you wouldn't be here. So you know that I know everything that happened. I just want to hear it from your perspective.
So some guys in my house, yeah. And they were all drinking and they got belligerent, so I kicked them out of my house.
Okay?
And they said they wanted to go get a car or steal a car or do something. And I was like, no, no, no. Started talking crazy, so I kicked them out of my house.
Okay?
And that was it. Kicked them out, they went home. And then like 2 or 3 hours later, I was in bed, went up to take a piss. And there it was.
Or what was?
The fire.
Okay?
I didn't see anybody do anything. I didn't see anything occur over there.
Okay. So let's start. Who did you have at your house?
Jimmy.
Jimmy and...
Jeremy.
Was that it?
That's it.
Okay. And just so we're clear, you're talking about Broomfield,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you said you had them over at your house.
Yep.
What time would you say that you kicked them out of your house?
I don't even know. That was way too long ago. Don't even know.
Okay. Before or after bar closing? People still walking around outside?
I couldn't even tell you what time I called it in.
Okay.
I really don't recall what time I kicked them out.
Okay. So when you kicked them out, what did you do?
I went in my bed. I went to bed right away.
Okay. So how long would you say then that was before you
It was
woke
a
up?
couple hours,
Couple
at
hours?
least.
So were you sleeping or just laying in bed?
I was sleeping.
Okay.
That was a couple hours.
So when you woke up, you said you had to go to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do after you got up? I mean, were you in your bed sleeping?
Yeah, I was in bed.
Okay.
And I went to the bathroom, and my bathroom was right next to the pee box.
Okay. Did you do anything between waking up and going to the bathroom?
No.
No?
No.
So you just got up and went straight to the bathroom?
Yeah.
And what did
And
you
then I
do?
saw it, and I called right away.
Okay. And then after you called the police, what was the next thing that you did?
I don't even know.
Did you go outside, see what the fire department was doing?
Oh, yeah, when they got there, yeah, absolutely. So
Talk.
the whole neighborhood was, but
Talk to anyone?
my neighbors, yeah.
Who'd you talk to?
I don't know their names, I never really saw them.
Okay.
Just my neighbors across in the big house over there.
So what was everybody talking about?
The fire across the street.
Okay. Did you talk to Jimmy or Jeremy?
I think Jimmy did come over, yeah.
Okay. What'd you talk to him about?
Just about the fire. He never said to me, oh, I did this, I did that. He said they wanted to steal a car or something that night, and I kicked them out.
Okay. So since that time, have you ever had a conversation in which you know that Jimmy was the person that started the fire?
It was assumed he did it
Why?
because he never spoke of it, and I didn't see a thing about it, and the less I know, the better for any of us.
Okay. So you're saying for a fact you and Jimmy have never talked about the press box fire. He's never talked about the fact that he helped set the fire or anything like that.
It is not something we discuss.
Okay.
You know, he never blatantly said, oh, I burned this down, and this is what I did.
Okay. So when officers came to talk to you in February in regards to the fight that had been called in,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember what you told officers about the press box at that time?
Mm-hmm.
What did you tell them?
It's in the report.
What did you tell them?
And just because it was assumed, I yelled it, yeah.
Okay.
But no, we never discussed it. You know, I never even saw him do it.
Okay. So,
Because if he was already belligerent wanting to steal a car, then I kicked him out.
so you're just saying you made that jump, that he and his brother were talking about wanting to steal a car that night, so since the press box was on
Because
fire...
they were belligerent, yes.
it
They
had
were
to
in a
be them?
destructive mode, yes.
Okay.
All right? But no, I didn't see anything, and the less I know, the less I want to know.
Okay. So between the time that you went to bed that night and that you saw the fire, that you kicked them out and went to bed and saw the fire, did you ever talk to Jimmy or Jeremy?
Mm-mm.
No? Did you talk to anyone else?
If I can recall, this was like a year ago. I don't know. No, he was the only person I knew in Vermillion.
He was the only other person that you knew in Vermillion? So
Mhm.
you're saying you wouldn't talk to anybody else?
Well, if I didn't know anybody, nobody was over.
Here are your phone records. From the night of the fire. And you're saying that when they went to bed, or when you kicked them out, you went to bed.
Yes.
But yet, you managed to make all of these cell phone calls while you said you were sleeping for 2 hours.
Not after?
Not after what?
Yeah. I called everyone. I called my mom. Was my mom on there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Called my mother on there.
You're saying
Yeah.
these were all calls that you made after calling in the fire?
I assume so, yeah.
Well, the fire, when you called it into 911, that's the last call.
Okay.
So these were all calls that you made between 2:50 a.m. and when you called the fire department at 3:31 or 3:34. Sorry.
Okay.
So how do you explain these phone calls? Which one? Which one don't you know? Do you not know any of those phone numbers?
No, I do.
Okay. And so how do you explain all of these phone numbers that were called while you were sleeping?
I don't know, it was a year ago. I told you. I don't remember this whole entire night. And we were all drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So what do you want to know?
I told you, Nate, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I know. But what do you want to know? Like, what do you want out of me?
I want to know exactly what did happen from you.
That is what happened.
I know what happened based on what everybody else is saying. I want to know what happened in your words.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you helped set the fire.
No. No.
Because you
No.
had, because first of all, you were there with 2 other people. Second of all, you made the mistake of telling other people after the fact. So when I came in here to talk to you, I told you that if I'm going to help you, you need to be
I
completely...
did not do anything with that fire.
You need to be completely honest with me. You need to at least make some type of effort to even
No,
act like
I am
you
not going to admit to
feel
a fire I did not
bad.
start.
That happened.
Oh my God. I did not do anything with that fire. I've got too many things I want to do in life. I am not that stupid.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily you guys went out and tried to burn down a building.
No, there's nothing.
I told you that from the beginning, that I didn't think that you did that. I'm not trying to play games with you here. I'm being
Neither am
honest
I.
with you.
So am I.
I don't think that you guys initially tried to burn the building down. I believe that you started a small fire that you guys intended to put out. Does that have to screw
There's
up?
nothing you guys about it.
Does that have to
If
screw
it
up
was
the
a
rest
small
of
fire,
your life?
if it was a small fire, I would say yes, it got out of control. I apologize. But I had nothing to do with what happened that night.
Nate,
I
I
was
have
not there.
plenty to prove that you were there that night.
Okay, well,
I mean,
I was not.
I mean, you have to admit your story's bullshit in the fact that you were sleeping, you got up, saw the fire, and called it into police.
Nope.
Because you made, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phone calls before calling 911.
Okay, a fire that big, wouldn't you assume it's been called in at all? If that's what's so weird about this? The whole thing was up.
Yeah, but you started making these calls
Okay.
at 2:50.
All right.
And the first phone call
I'm
that
done.
you made...
No, we're done. Because I did not start this fire. I did not do anything with this fire. No. Done.
You don't want to talk anymore?
No. Because I did not do anything with that fire. No.
All right, well, I
did not start this fire.
I want you to remember this moment when I gave you the opportunity to help you out. All right?
I did not start this fire.
If that's the story you want to stick to, that's absolutely fine with me. Like I said, I don't really care where your future goes.
I didn't
I'm
start the fire,
sure
though. That's
that
fine.
you care where it goes. So if you wanted to help out, that was your opportunity.
I did help out. No, you're accusing me of burning it down. I was not there. You just accused me of
No.
burning it down.
I'm saying that a fire that you and Jimmy and Jeremy started
No.
is what burned it down. I never said it was intentional.
I was never even there with the fire, so. Mm-mm.
If that's the route you want to take, that works out fine for me. But I can say this is your one opportunity and I'm walking out.
I told you, I had nothing to do with burning the thing down. I was not there during any of this.
All right, so you're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, because you are under arrest and you are going to be transported back to Vermillion. So if you want to sit tight here, I'll go get the other officer and we'll get going. Hey Nate, I know you said you didn't want to talk anymore. If you're stuck in your story that you did not have any part in this, Detective Walsh here can do a polygraph test. If that's something that you're interested in.
I'm so worked up. How is this even going to work right now? I mean, I am being accused of an arson now.
Well, he has more details on that and what's going to happen with that.
Well, I can certainly chat with you about it, and let you know how it will work.
We can talk about it.
Okay. I'll chat with him for a minute, sure.
Okay.
I understand that you're worked up and upset about it.
Very?
Yeah, and that's understandable. But yeah, I think if you really thought about it, everybody that takes a polygraph, every single last person, including me, when they sit down and start to go through that, everybody's nervous for it. So I don't want.
I'm sitting here shaking because I'm
And that's understandable, but I don't want you to lose this opportunity because you think that'll affect the test, because it won't. Okay. The only thing that affects the test is truth or deception. And long before we would do it, I would explain the procedure, explain the instrument, answer any and all questions you had about it, all that stuff. I'd be happy to do that. But obviously it's your choice. It's a voluntary thing. If you want to do it, we certainly can, and I can explain everything to you and talk about
Am I still going to be taken down to Vermillion regardless?
Yeah, you'd have to ask them, and I can ask them to come in and talk to you about
Because
that.
I mean,
but don't know.
if they're still going to take me, I might as well just go and get myself a lawyer and discuss it with a lawyer. I mean, unless this is going to change any outcome, I'd rather just get this done.
Okay. Well, like I said, I suspect, yeah, they would probably bring you down there. So I don't want to sit here and tell you that they wouldn't,
Right.
but I think that's why the detective wanted to offer you a polygraph while you were here, because I mean that option is available here. I don't know if it's available down in Vermillion. So that option is certainly yours.
I'm tempted to because I did not burn the fucker down. If I knew calling you was a crime, I would have just let the fucker burn.
What happened? I don't know anything about it. That's why I asked that. I don't know what's going on.
I kicked my buddies out of my house after a night of drinking, and they went and did their thing with the bar. And apparently I'm responsible for it.
Did what thing with the bar? And what bar? I like I said, I don't know anything about this. A bar in Vermillion? Well, did you break in or something?
No, they lit it up.
Oh, really?
And apparently I'm responsible for it.
Why do you say that?
That's why I'm here.
Are you?
No. I kicked them out of my house because they were getting belligerent.
Who don't?
They were all drinking. And then some of the brothers were just talking stupid. They wanted to go like steal a car and stuff. I'm like, no guys, relax, you're drunk, knock it off.
How old are all these guys?
We're all 21, I think his brother's 20.
Oh, so the same age as you then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, you guys are stupid. Like, Nick, come on. Like, no, you guys can leave. So I did. I just kicked them out, gave them a case of beer, and they left.
Yeah.
And then a couple hours later, the bar was on fire, and I assumed it was him, but the less I knew, the better for me, kind of thing. And that's why I'm here.
Well, I'll tell you, and again, it's without knowing anything about the case. I'm just generalizing here, without knowing anything about the case. It seems to me that that these guys wouldn't be up here from Vermillion if they didn't think they had really solid evidence. You know what I mean? For example, I'm a detective up here. Okay, I work my cases up here, and I know those guys, but I've never worked with them. Okay, good, and they're good guys. But just as an example, when I work cases up here, I don't. When I come in to talk to someone about something that happened, okay, 99% of the time, I already know what happened, and the only reason that I want to talk to the suspect, for lack of a better term, is because I can learn I can learn everything about the case. I can learn all the facts, when, what happened, how it happened, all that stuff. But the thing that I can never learn is why something happened, okay? What I found, okay, and throughout my career is the why is always more important than the what, because very few people wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I think I'm going to go do this today. I'm going to go rape a baby. I'm going to go kill somebody. Very few people. In fact, I've never met anyone who's ever come across a plan like that. It just doesn't happen. I've never really interviewed a terribly bad person either. Most of the people that I interview are people that made bad decisions, bad choices based on the circumstances they were in. Nearly every time. There are some, and that involves sex crimes.
Yeah, see, I made a responsible choice saying you guys can go do whatever you want to do. Now I'm out.
Yeah. Well, the
And
thing is that it seems to me that that's where the investigation's led. It's led to the point, okay, we know what happened, we know who did it, we know who was with, we know how it happened. Now we need to know why. It's because they wanted to light up a bar just for the fun of it, or was it because there was pressure to do it because of peer pressure, or is it because they were paid by the owner to do it? There could be a million different reasons, and I'm sure that's why they're up here talking to you about it. Okay, and in looking at you, you're a college student. To me, that tells me you're a responsible person. I mean, you're not some criminal out there running around being a jackass, hurting kids and stuff. Was anybody hurt in this fire?
No.
Okay. It seems to me...
The reason I called it in is because I thought someone lived up there.
Yeah.
Had I known no one lived up there, I wouldn't even call it because I knew something
And it seems to me
happened.
that because nobody was hurt, because it wasn't like a residence, it was just a bar, right? Okay. Nobody was living there. To me, that seems important because nobody was hurt out of this deal. And so now you can get to the base reasons why it happened. And I think that's why they're up here talking to you. I think they know they had something to do with it. The problem is they don't know why. Were you paid by the owner? Just wait. Just wait. Were you paid by the owner to do it? Was it something where you just felt like torching a place just to see what it's like? Was it something where you were going to torch it and then go masturbate? You know what I mean? Because there are people that do that,
Yeah.
Or was it something where there was peer pressure, or you were upset about something, or you're angry, which are a lot easier to understand than, I just woke up and decided to burn a building down. You know what I mean? You get that spectrum of people, and I think the reason why we as detectives, generally, and them specifically, choose to speak to people is to find out where someone falls in that spectrum. Are they the asshole that's going out and wants to be a badass criminal? Hey, I want a nickname of Torch, something like that. Or is it something, I was pissed off one day, or I was angry, or something happened, or something, my girlfriend broke up with me and I was just upset that day. That's the spectrum we're looking at here, okay? And that's where you're at. And that's where they're at. They need to decide where inside that spectrum you are. And when they have all this evidence, all this other evidence, and they come in here and they talk to you and what you're saying isn't making sense of what they have, I know I do it. I'm guilty of it too. I automatically start looking at this end of the spectrum where this guy wants to be a criminal. He wants to do all this. I start moving away from this spectrum.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't want to go down for him burning down the freaking bar if he did it. I mean, didn't see him do anything.
But this isn't about
It's
anybody
assumption.
else. It's not about anybody else
Right.
at this point. It's about you.
So why would I get taken down with these people?
Because obviously,
Because I
it's
was with
believed
them.
that you had something to do with it.
Because I was with them earlier in the night.
No, if you were with someone early in the night, they wouldn't be here. They're only
That's
here.
how it was. So I don't know.
Obviously, they have other evidence that says differently. You know what I mean?
Well, I think they do because I wasn't there, but.
Again, that's why the polygraph is offered. So, but it's up to you. I mean, if it's, to me, if it's something where you got upset and it was a one-time thing, you're not a serial arsonist. You know what I mean? If it was a time when Nathan wasn't Nathan for a brief moment in time, that's understandable, and I think you need to relay that to them. But if it is something where you want to be a serial arsonist, and maybe next time you can get someone in the building and get them killed. You see how silly that sounds?
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but by you by you responding the way you have, where else do they have to look? I mean, they have to look in that spectrum, and to me, the person that makes a mistake is gonna say, shit, you know what, I made a mistake. The person that didn't make a mistake, the person that woke up that morning and started gathering up, I don't know, gasoline to go burn someplace down, that's a whole different kind of person, and they aren't gonna talk about it. The person that makes a mistake, it's a one-time thing, and it just happened, is gonna talk about it, which is why they're where they're at with you, okay? All right, I'm gonna step out and let her know. You tell her if you want to take the polygraph, okay? And need your cell phone. What do you have in that pocket? Just your wallet back there, huh? My wallet. Okay, have a seat.
to him?
Mm-hmm.
Have you made up your mind, or you guys decided something?
Will I be able to take one in Vermillion at all?
He is the polygraph examiner, and he works up here,
Right.
so it would have to be here.
Because, you know, I'd rather get some advice on it before I do anything. You know, I've got no problem doing it.
Okay.
I mean, because whatever the outcome of that is, it's not going to change anything today.
Okay.
Right?
You are going back to Vermillion today either way. It's just, this was your opportunity to get it here, done here and now, since he's here. And he would be able to do it right now.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'll go grab him and we'll get it all set up, okay?
Yeah.
I understand, you told the detective that you want to take a polygraph. Okay. I can find my pen. All right, well, I think that is a good idea. The first thing I want to do with you is a polygraph authorization form. You read and write the English language? Okay. Your last name is Thomas, right?
Yep.
First name Nathaniel?
Yep.
Middle name?
James.
Okay, what I'd like you to do is read these 3 paragraphs. If you have any question, I want you to stop me and ask, okay? And if at the end of this, I've answered all your questions and you agree to take the polygraph, I'd like you to sign, date, and time. Now, if you have any questions, I want you to ask me, okay?
Yep.
All right. It's Nathaniel, Nathaniel.
Yep. What's the date today?
Today is the 16th. What's your date of birth?
8/8/87.
What's your current address?
2309 West 3rd Street, number 204. That's in town.
Okay. What's your cell phone number?
605-521-7591.
7591.
Mm-hmm.
What city were you born in?
Sioux Falls.
Married, single, divorced?
Single.
Any questions about this? Okay. I'm going to do a medical questionnaire now. How did you sleep last night?
Went to bed late, got up early.
About how many hours would you say? Approximately.
5.
What would be a normal amount?
I don't know. 6.
Okay. Did you eat breakfast this morning?
No.
Have you eaten lunch yet?
No.
Okay. Did you eat dinner last night?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a polygraph exam before? Have you ever been arrested before?
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time?
I was a kid and all got dropped.
Oh, okay. So it was a juvenile type thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that here in Sioux Falls?
Yeah.
Are you taking any prescription medication right now?
No.
In the last week or so, have you used any illegal drugs?
No.
Have you had any alcohol in the last 24 hours?
2 glasses of wine last night.
In the last 2 years, have you had a consultation with a psychiatrist or psychologist? Do you have any heart or respiratory problems?
I've got an irregular heartbeat.
You take any medication for that?
No, it's random and sporadic.
When were you diagnosed with that? You remember?
Several years ago.
Do you have any other general health problems?
Asthma. But no.
Take any medication for it?
An inhaler is needed.
When was the last time you used it?
Really long time ago. It's
No.
not much, not very bothersome.
Okay. Have you been an overnight hospital patient the last 2 years?
No.
Have you had a medical exam in the last 2 years?
No.
In your opinion, your present health, poor, fair, good, or excellent?
Good?
Are you in any pain?
No.
Like physical pain? Okay. Okay. Well, like I told you before, I don't know very much about this case. I talked with the detective, and she told me a little bit about it. So I kind of have her perspective of it. What I'd like to get, and I talked to you a little bit before, I stepped out, about your perspective on it. I just want to kind of go through it again. Do you remember the date when it happened? Okay. September last year, does that sound about right?
Yeah, it was done. Yeah.
September 29th? Okay. And you told me earlier that you had 2 guys in your apartment. What were their names?
Jimmy and Jeremy Broomfield.
Their brothers? Broomfield?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Kind of walk me through the night then. You said you had kicked them out. What happened prior to that?
We were having a good time, just, they were already toasted,
Okay.
and, I don't think I even drank that night, to be honest. Somebody had to watch over them. But, they started getting, talking destructively, just
How so?
stealing cars or doing things they shouldn't have, breaking in stuff.
Like they had or they had done it or they wanted to?
No, like, they were going to.
Okay.
At that point, I said, you guys are crazy, you need to knock it off, you're just drunk. And I kicked them out.
What time?
I don't even recall. I don't even know.
Was it dark out? Was it light?
Oh, it was late. It was late. I just don't know what time.
Okay. After midnight? Before midnight? Any recollection of that?
Probably after midnight.
Okay.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah, I understand, which is why
No, it was late
I'm not
for
looking
all
for a
that.
specific time, so probably after midnight, okay. Where did they go, do you know?
I assumed back to his house. He just lived across the street. But no, I don't know for sure.
Okay.
What they did was up to them.
Okay. And what did you do after you kicked them out?
Cleaned up, went to bed.
Cleaned up the apartment or cleaned up yourself?
Oh, I
or-
just, got beers off the table.
Okay,
That was it. Not like a mess or anything, no. Just got
Okay.
them off the table and went to bed.
okay. You don't recall what time?
It was shortly after they were out of the house.
Okay. And I
And
believe...
reporting to Detective Brady, made some phone calls. I don't remember making those. Again, it was a year ago, but
Mhm.
yeah,
I made some phone calls to whom?
I don't know. I just saw the phone numbers on there, but
Phone numbers on what? I'm sorry.
she brought in this
Okay.
sheet, but I didn't recall doing that, so I don't know.
Okay. You told me earlier, you said something like, if I'd known no one was in there, I wouldn't have called. So you saw the fire at some
I
point?
saw the fire. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got up at
Okay, what happened with that?
I got to go to the bathroom and I have wax paper over my windows, or did.
How come?
Privacy.
Understandable.
And so I just saw an orange glow open in my window and I saw the fire. And then I called it.
The window of the bathroom you opened up?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What'd you do then? Did you open the window to look out, or what?
Yeah, to see what it
Or did
was,
you take
yeah.
the wax paper off, or?
Just open the window.
Okay. And you could see flames?
Yep.
Okay. And, it was a bar burning down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the name of the bar?
The press box.
Okay. When I say the term fully engulfed, do you understand what that means? I mean, was the whole thing, or was it just some flames coming out of one window, or, you understand what I'm asking?
When I called, it was in the back of the building. As far as the size of the flames, no, the thing was not engulfed.
I see.
It was in the back of the building.
What is
And
your,
I know the tree was on fire too.
what is your perspective from your apartment? Is it,
Head on.
but you could see the back of the building?
No, I could see them from the back. They were raising above the top.
I see what you're saying, okay. And you could see a tree on fire too?
Yeah, the leaves were just starting to catch.
Okay. And what happened next?
I called.
Called 911?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do after that?
Watched it.
Did you see the emergency trucks arrive and stuff?
Yeah. The whole neighborhood did.
I bet, yeah. Did it wake everybody up, I assume?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was 8 in the morning, you know, when everyone's out, it was still dark out?
It was dark out when they got there.
Okay. Had you been at the bar earlier that night?
No.
No.
Never been anywhere.
How old are you?
21. Went to Bucks, I think, once and then walked out. Not
You
my
did?
thing.
Okay.
Not my crowd.
Okay. And the reason I ask you that, again, I am very new to what's going on with this case.
Motives, I know.
No, not so much motives. I mean, if there's any chance that there's video surveillance or fingerprints or anything like that, I mean, I just want to get that out in the open,
Mhm.
okay? All right. All right. But you've never been there before. Okay. All right. One of the questions, obviously, is going to be, did you start or help start the fire at the bar?
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you that straight out now. Did you
Yep.
start or help start the fire?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Who did?
Like I told Detective Brady, it is assumed that Jimmy and his brother did it
Why is it assumed?
because of what they were already talking about that night, about destroying things or breaking things.
Did they tell you that they did it?
They never blatantly said, oh, I burned down the bar.
Okay, do you,
That's not something
But-
you would do.
I understand.
Do I believe it was them? Yeah.
Let me rephrase the question then. Do you know for sure that they set the fire?
No, I did
Okay.
not see them do it. I did not see anything be ignited. I was not there for any of that. But due to their nature that night, and several hours later this happens.
Okay, and again, I'll ask the question, I want you to listen to the question.
Mhm.
Do you know for sure if they started the fire?
No.
Okay. Do you obviously suspect them of it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, the reason I ask that is because we're gonna go over each and every question, like it said in here.
Mhm.
One of the specific tests will have that specific question on it,
Mhm.
okay? All right. I think that I have all the information I need, I think, to form good test questions.
Okay.
What I'd like to do now is kind of come up with our test questions, okay? When we do this, if you're uncomfortable with a word, or uncomfortable with a phrase,
Mhm.
or don't understand part of it, tell me, because I can change the wording, I can change it so that you're comfortable answering it completely truthfully, okay?
Mhm.
The questions are designed, obviously, to find out whether or not you had anything to do with it, but they're also kind of designed, some of the questions are to find out if you're the kind of person that would do something like this.
Mhm.
Are you a violent person? Okay, have you ever set fires before or anything like that?
Other than campfires, but.
I'm
No.
talking about illegal stuff.
No, illegal, no.
Okay. Do people consider you a violent person or a person that would do something like this?
No.
Okay. Are you an honest person?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, where would you rate yourself?
Probably a 9.
Okay. What would keep you from being a 10?
White lies.
Yeah.
Everyone's got little white
Yep,
lies.
I hear you. I'm not talking about, when I ask the question about honesty, I'm not talking about, yeah, Mom, that casserole was fantastic, when you
Mhm.
know darn well it wasn't, because those aren't, to me, when I'm talking about honesty, chips are down, time to stand up and be a man about stuff.
Mhm.
Where do you rate
I'll
on
admit
that?
to my faults.
Okay, so where would you rate on it then?
I'll be a
Scale of 1
10.
to 10.
I'll go to 10.
Excellent.
I'll be there.
And you will not have any trouble with this, okay? If I can get this back up, come on. What we're going to do is we're going to do two separate lists of questions. The first test we're going to do one time. It has 10 questions on it. And then the second set of questions has 9 questions on it. We'll do that at least twice, but I will tell you right now, I always do it 3 times. Simply because I like to have the broadest set of data to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the questions. What I'd like to do is I'll ask them, and then I want you to answer them in the manner that you're going to answer them during the test, which is either a yes or a no.
Mhm.
There are no exceptions to that.
Mhm.
Once the test begins, it is simply a yes or a no, okay? Let's go over. I need to, all right. Let me do a couple things on here. Do you go by Nate or
Nate.
Pardon?
Nate.
Nate,
Yep.
okay. Who did?
Like I told Detective Brady, it is assumed that Jimmy and his brother did it
Why is it assumed?
because of what they were already talking about that night, about destroying things or breaking things.
Did they tell you that they did it?
They never blatantly said, oh, I burned down the bar.
Okay, do you,
That's not something
But-
you would do.
I understand.
Do I believe it was them? Yeah.
Let me rephrase the question then. Do you know for sure that they set the fire?
No, I did
Okay.
not see them do it. I did not see anything be ignited. I was not there for any of that. But due to their nature that night, and several hours later this happens.
Okay, and again, I'll ask the question, I want you to listen to the question.
Mhm.
Do you know for sure if they started the fire?
No.
Okay. Do you obviously suspect them of it?
Yes.
Okay. the reason I ask that is because, we're gonna go over each and every question, like it said in here.
Mhm.
One of the specific tests will have that specific question on it, okay? All right. I think that, I have all the information I need, I think, to form good test questions.
Okay.
What I'd like to do now is kind of come up with our test questions, okay? When we do this, if you're uncomfortable with a word, or uncomfortable with a phrase, or don't understand part of it, tell me, because I can change the wording, I can change it so that you're comfortable answering it completely truthfully, okay? The questions are designed, obviously, to find out whether or not you had anything to do with it, but they're also kind of designed, some of the questions are to find out if you're the kind of person that would do something like this. Are you a violent person? Okay, have you ever set fires before or anything like that?
Wearing campfires, but.
I'm
No.
talking about illegal stuff.
No, illegal, no.
Okay. Do people consider you a violent person or a person that would do something like this?
No.
Okay. Are you an honest person?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, where would you rate yourself?
Probably a 9.
Okay. What would keep you from being a 10?
White lies.
Yeah.
Everyone's got little white
Yep,
lies.
I hear you. I'm not talking about, when I ask the question about honesty, I'm not talking about, yeah, Mom, that casserole was fantastic, when you know darn well it wasn't, because those aren't, to me, when I'm talking about honesty, chips are down, time to stand up and be a man about stuff. Where do you rate
I'll
on
admit
that?
to my faults.
Okay, so where would you rate on it then?
I'll be a
Scale of 1 to
10.
10.
I'll go to 10.
Excellent.
I'll be there.
And you will not have any trouble with this, okay? If I can get this back up, come on. What we're going to do is we're going to do 2 separate lists of questions. The first test we're going to do one time. It has 10 questions on it. And then the second set of questions has 9 questions on it. We'll do that at least twice, but I will tell you right now, I always do it 3 times. Simply because I like to have the broadest set of data to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the questions. What I'd like to do is I'll ask them, and then I want you to answer them in the manner that you're going to answer them during the test, which is either a yes or a no. There are no exceptions to that. Once the test begins, it is simply a yes or a no, okay? Let's go over. I need to, all right. Let me do a couple things on here. Do you go by Nate or
Nate.
Pardon?
Nate.
Nate, okay. Is either a yes or a no. There are no exceptions to that. Once the test begins, it is simply a yes or a no, okay? Let's go over. I need to, all right. Let me do a couple things on here. Do you go by Nate or
Nate.
Pardon?
Nate.
Nate, okay. Bear with me. Usually I have a little more advanced notice. I'm a little more prepared. So you just have to bear with me real quick. Doesn't take that long, but... And how old are you now? 21? Okay. Okay. These are gonna be the questions on the very first test. And again, if there's a question or a word or a phrase that you don't like, or you don't understand, or makes you uncomfortable, I want you to tell me about it, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna read the question, and I want you to answer it, you're gonna answer on the test. Some of the questions I'm gonna ask you to explain back to me. Because
Is this the test, or are you just telling me the questions now?
no, this is not the test. You're not
I
hooked
didn't
up to
say, what's, okay.
No,
All
no,
right.
we review everything before we do it.
Okay.
Because there are no surprise questions on the test. The reason for that is if I ask something we haven't talked about beforehand, it could cause a reaction. Like if I ask you to kill John F. Kennedy in the middle of the test, you're gonna do that, you're gonna giggle, you know what I mean? I know you didn't, you know you didn't, but it's gonna cause a reaction. So that's why you're gonna know every single question, I'm gonna know every single answer.
Okay.
And I will say that because of that, during the test, when we're doing the actual test, don't answer it before I'm done asking. You're gonna recognize the question after the second word. Let me finish and then answer, okay? All right. Well, let's review these ones. Regarding the fire at the press box, do you intend to tell me the truth about that?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on just one second, I'll write this down. Regarding the fire at the press box, other than Jimmy and Jeremy, do you suspect anyone else in particular of starting it?
No.
Okay, what does that question mean?
However, though, with that, I could suspect the world, but
Well, I'm asking,
I mean-
is there anyone else you
Is-
suspect of helping them?
of helping them.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's the question. I mean, if there is, tell me.
No, I'm just saying, like I said, I did not watch them ignite anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a suspicion it was them overall.
Okay,
You
and I
know,
understand that.
It's pretty well grounded that it was.
And that's why I'm asking.
So-
Other than those guys, do you suspect anyone else?
Am I, okay? No, I'm not then.
Okay, I'm going to read it one more time just so we're clear on it,
All right.
okay? Regarding the fire at the press box, other than Jimmy and Jeremy, do you suspect anyone else in particular of starting it?
No.
Okay. Regarding the fire at the press box, do you know for sure who started it?
No.
Okay. And we talked about that earlier. I mean, did you see it? Did they tell you they did it? Did
Right.
they show you any evidence they did? That kind of thing.
Right.
Okay? Regarding the fire at the press box, did you help start it?
No.
Okay, what does that question mean?
Did I help light it up?
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything to do with starting it?
No, sir.
Did you light any fires? Did you set any gas anywhere? Did you set any newspapers to light on fire? Anything like that, right?
No, sir.
Okay, and that's what the question is. Did you help start it?
Just across the street.
Regarding the fire at the press box, did you threaten anyone to keep them from talking about it? Okay, what does that question mean?
Did I make any threats to them? Did I threaten anybody to keep shut about anything
Right,
that
yeah,
they knowledge about?
exactly, yep. Okay. Prior to the age of 19, do you remember taking part in someone else's illegal act?
Explain.
Explain to me what it means to you.
Well, this is how I'm taking it. I was arrested with somebody for being on property that we shouldn't have been. It wasn't
Okay.
like someone else's crime. We just went
Right.
on property. And it
Well-
was dropped because it was just property. We didn't
Okay.
damage or hurt anything. We were just there. So
How old were you when that happened?
I think I was like 17.
Here's what I'm going to put.
But as far as someone doing something, I don't know.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it, we just talked about, okay?
Mhm.
Here's how I'm going to change the question. Other than what we talked about, prior to the age of 19, do you remember taking part in someone else's illegal act?
No. Are you asking if I've assisted in a crime?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. I'm going to ask it again and answer it like you can answer on the test, which is either a yes or a
Yes,
no.
sorry.
Other than what we talked about, prior to the age of 19, do you remember taking part in someone else's illegal act?
No.
Okay. And you understand what I mean about illegal act? I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah, committing a crime. I mean, did you ever, help someone buy some weed? Did you ever help someone shoplift? Did you ever, any particular crime? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, answer still no on that one?
Let's see, if this goes to court or anything, if it says, other than what we talked about, that's gonna leave a fuzzy area. I don't like that term.
Other than what we talked about? Okay, do you want me to put other than the,
If you could just say it.
the incident when you were a juvenile? Well, what were you gonna say, if I could just say what?
Have you assisted in, or something like that, but have you ever assisted somebody commit a crime? Or been in the presence of someone committing a crime? I would like it more if we could be more specific rather
Okay.
than a gray area.
And then instead of just saying illegal act, you mean?
No, illegal act is fine.
Okay.
But I don't like this whole,
Why don't-
other than what we discussed.
Okay, then let's just go back to the original question then. Prior to the age of 19, you remember taking part in someone else's illegal act?
All right, that's fine.
Is that one okay?
That's all right, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more time.
All right.
Answer it like you're gonna answer on the test, okay? Prior to the age of 19, do you remember taking part in someone else's illegal act?
No.
Okay. Before the age of 19, do you remember putting loyalty above truthfulness?
So that was the question.
Before the age of 19,
Right.
do you remember putting loyalty above truthfulness?
No.
What does that question mean?
Am I gonna stay true to someone for something rather than letting the truth be known to others?
Right, yeah, if you're in a gang, let's just say, and you know your fellow gang member commit a crime, commit a murder, are you gonna be loyal to him and not say anything? Or you're gonna put truthfulness above that and say, listen, this guy did it, and I want the family to know it, that type of thing. You understand that one?
Yep.
All right. Is your first name Nathaniel?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe me when I promise you I will not ask a question we have not gone over word for word?
Yes.
Okay, what does that one mean?
No surprises.
That's exactly right. No surprises, and I'll tell you why. Let me back up. In this state, we need a license to do this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Other states, you don't. I mean, there are some that you could go tomorrow and be say you're a fire examiner. In this state, we need to be licensed, which means we have to do fair, ethical, competent, all that happy stuff, okay? And part of that is no surprise questions. And I really like doing it, so I'm not gonna do that. Additionally, I belong to 2 professional organizations, not just one. In their policies say no surprise questions. And lastly, my own department says no surprise questions. So because it's 4 against me, there's not gonna be any surprise questions, okay?
Yep.
Then the last question on this test will be, even though I promised you I would not, are you afraid I'll ask a question we have not gone over word for word?
No.
Okay. That's the whole first test. We'll do that one time, okay? Let me get rid of this, and then we'll go over the questions on the next one. And again, the next one will be, the next one we'll do at least twice, but plan on 3 times. If I stop after 2, which I've done once in my career, don't read anything into it. It just means that I have great data that I can work with. But I'm telling you right now, we're going to do 3, okay? All right, let me type on this for just a minute.
Should I get a glass of water or anything by chance?
Yes.
I haven't had anything all day.
If I could type, my life would be a lot easier. I could go much faster.
You have 1 finger typer?
Nope, 2. 2 fingers and a thumb, because I can get that space bar with the thumb.
When my mom first got her laptop, she was just the slowest thing ever, and she was going to classes and stuff.
Yeah.
A few times she would just ask me to type 4 while she told me what she wanted, because she's like, hey, I can't do this. If it's the wrong key, I gotta find the backspace.
That's funny.
I'm sure she's better by now, but I don't know.
I'm not. I just need to. Okay, let's go over these questions. Again, it's the same kind of thing. I'm going to ask it. I want you to answer it the way you're going to answer on the test. And again, I'll have you explain some of them. Okay. Regarding the fire at the press box, do you intend to answer truthfully each question about that?
Yes.
Like I said before, during this, when we talk about these, some are very specific about the incident. Some are you the type of person to do it? And this next question is very specific, okay? Did you start the fire at the press box? Any question about that? What does that question mean?
That's why I'm here. Did I do it or did I not?
You know, did you start it? Did you help start it? Were you a participant in the fire at the press box, basically? Yeah. Okay. Regarding the fire at the press box, did you start it?
No.
Basically the same question, just kind of worded a little bit differently. Okay. Between the ages of 16 and 19, do you remember committing a crime the police don't know about? What does that mean to you?
Have I done anything that I haven't been caught for?
Right. And what do I mean by crimes?
Anything that's illegal?
Right. Could be
By the law?
Yep, murder, you know what I mean? Burglary, vandalisms, using dope, assaulting people, anything like that. Okay, that's crimes. You still good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. During the first 16 years of your life, do you remember lying about something serious to someone in authority? Okay, what does that one mean?
Could be anybody from the police, anybody who has power, perhaps over civilians that I've lied to over
Teachers.
anything.
Teachers,
Yeah.
parents, stuff like that. Principal? I lied to my principal.
Well, if you're going principal, they're pushing it there. I thought,
Okay.
well, I mean, you're talking
Well,
like the law. I mean,
And well, that's someone in authority, someone who has authority of you. And to me, that would be, when I'm saying during the
Right.
first 16 years of your life, to me, I'm thinking
well,
parents,
if
teachers,
if we're doing that, well,
What
teachers
have,
and principals, yeah, I'm sure I did.
what have you lied about to them?
We're going way back.
Well, give me something specific.
Oh, I don't know. Did I throw the rock on the playground? No, that wasn't me.
Yeah,
Or-
okay. Well, and don't forget, listen to the question when I say it. I'm
Right.
talking about lying about something serious.
Okay, well,
You see what I'm saying?
define serious then.
You tell me. What does serious mean?
That could be anything. That's based on your morals.
Is throwing a rock on the playground serious to you?
Well, it's a rule that shouldn't have been broken.
I'll ask it again. Is throwing a rock on the playground serious to you? I'll
To
tell you
me,
it's
no.
not serious to me.
No, to me, no.
Okay. That's why we discuss these things.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the question again, and I want you to think about it. Think about some of the things I'm asking. Do you remember lying about something serious? Which means, Did I lie to my mom when I was 18 years old? You bet I did. Do I remember a specific incident?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Which is why I'm
If
asking.
you want specifics, then okay,
Okay.
all right.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna ask it again. During the first 16 years of your life, you remember lying about something serious to someone in authority?
No.
Okay. And that's all I need. Prior to the age of 19, do you remember committing a crime to get back at someone?
No.
What does that one mean?
Retaliation?
Yeah. To me, it could mean retaliation. To me, it could mean vandalizing their car or, breaking a window of the house or egging their house or TPing their house. It could also mean threatening someone. It could also mean assaulting someone because you're mad at them, getting back on that type of thing.
Yep.
You good with no on that one?
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you one more time just so we're clear. Prior to the age of 19, do you remember committing a crime to get back at someone?
No, I didn't. No.
Yes or no?
No.
Remember on the test, it's simply a yes or no, okay?
Yep. I know.
All right. Do your friends call you Nate?
Yes.
Do you believe me when I promise you I will not ask a question we have not gone over word for word?
What was the question? Go ahead.
Do you believe me when I promise you I will not ask a question we have not gone over word for word?
Yes.
Okay. And then the last question on the test will be, even though I promised you I would not, are you afraid I'll ask a question we have not gone over word for word?
No.
All right. That's all the questions. Each test will take about 4 minutes in length, in between which I'll give you a chance to relax and rest, and then we'll move on to the next one. But I'll explain that a little bit more once we go in there, okay? What did I do here? I gotta make sure I have the questions. Where did they go? All right, here's what I want to do. I'm going to step out. The room is next door. I'm going to get the polygraph unit set up. I'm going to get you a glass of water, bring it here while I do that, and then we'll do it. Give me about 5 minutes to get ready, okay? Okay. All right, sit tight. I'm gonna walk you down to the bathroom. You have to get a drink out of the faucet. I can't find a paper cup.
I can wait, not a big deal.
Okay, come on up. We'll move next door then. Right in here. Have a seat.
But how much am I gonna need to get Mindy out? If she got a warrant or whatever, you know? We're both gonna have to go talk to the judge.
Holy shit.
Here, we're gonna switch spots.
For right now?
Yeah.
Huh? All right, thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Well, maybe you're in a pickle here, all right? You're in trouble. This is what we're gonna do for now. Okay? All right. Get some information. You got a warrant for your road?
caffeine? Not at all? Prescription drugs? You know, how old is our Tylenol? That was less than smoking. Okay, we'll follow you. Legal left. Probably down. Room 12.
You don't wanna talk to me, man, you just go to jail. How much for bail gonna be? I don't know yet.
But I can make it out that way?
Let her out. Nobody let her out. Can't treat our guests like that. Money back? Actually, controlled substance and, you can't leave the room where drugs are kept or sold. South Dakota. You good, Ryan?
Yep, I'm good, thanks. I'll consider it.
Thank you. paper ready?
Have a seat. Give me about 10, 15 minutes to go through it, okay? Okay. Well, Nate, I evaluated it. And based on my evaluation, it's very clear, okay, that you had something to do with the fire. I mean, that polygraph test was so, the results that it gave, the reactions on those questions, there's no way in the world you couldn't have felt when you were taking the test, when you answered that question, the reactions that happened in your body. The problem is, you know, I do it 3 times specifically for that so I can get the most data. I mean, it's, I won't say that it's the worst score I ever had, but it's getting close. And it's very clear to me that you had something to do with the fire. But like I started telling, like I said to you when I talked to you earlier, just briefly, before we did this, we can, as investigators, we can use all the tools we have available. Detective Brady and the other detectives down there did their investigation. They came up with you based on all of their tools. My tool in assisting them is the test we just did, okay? And based on my tool and based on what they've done, it is very, just wait, it's very clear, okay? When someone takes these tests, okay, it tells truth or deception, okay? Like I told you, like I told you before, you know whether or not you're gonna pass or fail, okay? It tells truth or deception. But by the based on the size of the reactions, I feel like I can tell the kind of person I'm dealing with, okay? The thing is, I've never had a bad person in that chair. I told you that before, and I still haven't, okay? Even right now as I'm sitting here. But there are people whose reactions will not be as strong as yours because they don't give a shit. Because...
You've got so much writing on this, I'm terrified, yes.
Being terrified has absolutely nothing to do with it. You're right, there is a lot riding on this. There is a lot. But the thing is, it's not the end of the world. I think you're approaching it as if it's the end of the world, and it's not. Okay? Listen, when I was in high school, I got kicked out of school because I brought a knife to school. I did some really stupid, just listen, I did some stupid stuff, okay? I did some really dumb stuff, and it wasn't the end of the world, all right? And it's not the end of the world with you, okay? But what will keep you from moving forward from here, what will definitely keep you from moving forward from here, is not being a stand-up guy about stuff and not manning up about stuff, okay? Everyone in the world, every single person in the world, be it a police officer, be it a doctor, be it a judge, be it a lawyer, be it a juror, be it anyone in the world understands people who do something in the heat of the moment, do something because they made a mistake, do something because circumstances forced them into that. What they don't understand, what not one single person understands, listen to me, is the kind of person who does it just for fun or just for the heck of it or just because they're angry or something like that. That's what they don't understand, okay? And to me, that's kind of what you're acting like right now. You're sitting there getting mad. You're getting angry, and I don't...
because I wasn't there.
I don't want to see you get angry, okay? Listen to me.
I'm cornered. Fine, I admit to it. I didn't do it.
I'm beyond the fact as to whether or not you did it, okay? I really am. I'm beyond that. I don't want to discuss whether or not you did it, okay? I know, based on everything that I have available to me, I know that you were involved. Now, I don't know if you're the ringleader. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're the one who said, hey, guys, let's go do this. You told me before those guys were acting that way. You told me before those guys were acting destructive. I mean, there is, just wait.
They kicked them out of my house.
Just listen. There is such a thing as peer pressure. There is such a thing as being forced. There is such a thing as being forced into doing something. Okay? And I understand that. That happens all the time. But it's not the end of the world. The thing is, everyone that's going to be involved in this case from here on out, everyone that's going to be involved is not going to look at what happened. They're not going to look at what you did. They're going to look at how you responded. We as human beings, we make mistakes, period. That's a fact. You're not superhuman. You make mistakes.
So it was a mistake not to go with them? I should have gone with them?
Just listen. I want you to listen to me. You're not superhuman. You make mistakes just as well as I do, just as well as anybody in the world does. But that's not what defines us. What defines us as people is how we respond to those mistakes.
So tell me which questions threw it off. Which questions do you threw it off on your reading?
The questions you failed are the questions talking about whether or not you participated in the fire and whether or not you started it. Period.
I didn't start. I wasn't even there
when it happened.
Listen to me, I already told you, I'm beyond that. I know that you were, okay? But like I said, it's not what happened back then, it's how you respond to it. It's how you act now. Are you gonna man up about it, or are you not gonna man up about it? It's
Man up
completely up to
about
you.
what?
The fact that you were there. the
I
fact that you
didn't
did
do it. I wasn't even there.
You were.
I wasn't.
You can say that as much as you want. The problem is,
I wasn't.
every other thing that I have available to me, let's back away for a second and look at it objectively, okay? All the evidence that Detective Brady has, and I don't know what she covered with you, but I read the case file, and I'm not gonna go into it with you because I don't know what she's told you and what she hasn't. But all the evidence in the case file, when things like this happen, people talk, period. They simply talk, okay?
Mhm.
Eventually. So you have to remember that. You have to remember forensic evidence. You have to remember all of the tools that are available to law enforcement these days between fingerprints or DNA. And I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm just telling you what's available.
Mhm.
And then you throw in the test. You throw in all that stuff, okay? And what am I supposed to think? Am I supposed to disbelieve everything else, which is saying one thing, and believe you? I don't understand that logic. Can you explain that logic to me? When every other thing...
I don't know how they can have anything on me, being that I wasn't even there.
You were.
They were at my house in the beginning of the night, and I told them to leave. What
Yeah,
they
I
did was on
understand
their
that.
own.
I understand that, but I'm not talking about them. I don't care about them. I've never talked to them. I never will talk to them. I'll never even see them. I don't remember their names now, okay? I have no interest in talking about them, because that's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is the reason for the fire. Is it a case where you just decided to torch a building just for the hell of it, and hell, maybe there's a baby in there, I can get killed too? Does that sound silly? Absolutely, it sounds silly. But I have no idea at this point. I do know, one, that you were involved, okay? And two, all the evidence shows you're involved. But what I don't know is why. Okay, I can do all the investigating in the world. Detective Brady can do all the investigating in the world. No one will ever know why something happens. The only person that knows that is you. That's the only person. You can continue to say you weren't there. The simple fact is, the evidence says you were there. Everything about this case says you were there. That's all there is to it. Now, when you leave it up to other people, be it police officers, judges, jurors, when you leave it up to them to decide why something happened, they can also make the leap anywhere they want inside that spectrum. They can make the leap way down here at the bottom of a guy who simply made a mistake and did a one-time thing that he would never normally do. Maybe he was drinking, maybe he's high, maybe he's just pissed off, who knows. But there's that guy. And then there's, and that guy generally takes responsibility. That guy generally stands up and says, you know what, I did do it. It was a one-time thing. I did mess it up, but you know what? My life is not over, and I can keep moving from here. But then they can also make the leap to the other side of the spectrum and say, you know, you ever hear of those guys that start fires just to watch them burn? You ever hear of those guys that, you know, volunteer firefighters who even do it? You know what I mean?
Yes, I
They
get
can
it.
make that leap.
So yeah, I get it.
That's where you're at. That's the leap we're at now. But the only person that can the only person that can say for sure why it happened.
Can I
is
leave
you.
yet? Well, not leave.
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
I don't want to be talked to.
Do you want to stop talking? Because it's perfectly fine. I'm not here to browbeat you. I'm not here to trample on anybody's rights. If you want to be done, we can be done. But I got to tell you, you only get so many chances to talk about it before the chances end. Okay? And I'm telling you that as a general thing. I'm not telling you that to scare you or intimidate you or anything like that. I'm just telling you like it is. What do you want to do?
Nothing else to say.
Okay.
I'm at a loss of words.
Well, I can tell you generally, if you're at a loss for words, the best thing to do is to tell the truth about it. And you haven't been.
I did.
You did not.
I did.
You,
I had nothing to do
you know
with
and I
that
know,
building.
and all of the
burning.
evidence. You know all the evidence is there. I don't need to get into it with you. You know it's all there. You know it's there. And you can be angry, and you can cry, and you can shake, and you can get mad. You can do all that stuff. I don't care. Okay? Honestly, I've done what I need to do, which is give you a chance to explain those reactions. I've done that. I fulfilled my obligations. I'm just wondering when you're going to fulfill your obligation as a member of the community, and as a human, and as a man. And I haven't seen that. You may believe that sitting and denying and not being honest about it is manly, but it certainly isn't.
Denying.
You are denying. You're saying you had nothing to do with it, when I know, and you know full well. I told you before we sat down, you know if you're going to pass that or not. You knew
Right.
you were going to fail that.
No.
You knew
No.
that. You did. You did, because you knew something happened, and you wonder why the reactions are so big? It's because it's bothering you. Some people it doesn't bother.
Yes, I am terrified right now, beyond belief. It is absolutely bothering me that I am being
What's-
accused of this.
what's
When I did
terrifying?
not ignite it.
Were you there when it was ignited?
No. I kicked them out of my house.
And why? And let me ask you this: why are you trying to pin this on them so hard?
What? I'm not trying to pin it on them. All I know is...
when you say I kicked them out of my house. When you say I kicked them out of my house, and I assume they did it. Do
Yeah.
you know they did it?
Well, those are the names they gave me, too. The police. So, yeah, it must have been them. You know, did I watch the ignition? Absolutely not. After they got belligerent and started talking about, you know, breaking into things or stealing cars or doing whatever they were doing, I said, that's enough. You guys need to knock it off. You're being
Hey, Nate,
drunk.
Hey, Nate, you're a liar. You're not
Okay.
being honest about it.
No, that is the truth, but okay.
You're not being honest
No,
about
I
it.
am.
You need to be honest with yourself, too. I mean, I expect people to have a hard time talking about this stuff. I really do. I expect people to not want to talk about it. But the fact is, at some point, either here,
Okay, well-
either here where it can do some good, or when you're getting sentenced, at some point, you're going to have to talk about it. It does you good here. It does you no good.
Yes, I know.
It does you no good when you get sentenced, because you're going to talk about it eventually. Everybody does, because it's required. But the only time it does you any good is when you're ahead of the 8 ball, not behind it. I'm beyond the fact that you did it, and you know that. The only thing left to clear up is why it happened. Were you intending to set it on fire, burn it down, and maybe catch the whole damn city of Vermillion on fire in the process? Or was it simply a one-time thing that happened because you were angry, or because you were put into some sort of circumstance where you couldn't stop it, be it peer pressure or drinking or something like that? It's somewhere in there. You're the only one that can tell me that. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, that's for sure. But I can sure tell you what people will think, as far as making that leap. I think you're worried about how it's going to impact your college career and all that stuff. And that's understandable. And your career after college. But, like I told you before, you have to realize you're not the first person in the world to do something dumb. You're not the first person in the medical profession to do something dumb. It happens. You're not that special. You're not so special that you can go through life without making any mistakes. You're not better than the rest of us, any more than we're better than you. We all make mistakes. We all do it. That's how you respond. Are you ready to stand up and be a man about it, or are you not? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And part of standing up and being a man about it is taking responsibility. You know, if you have a patient that dies on your watch, are you gonna try and blame the janitor? Or are you gonna
No,
say?
because I would have actually done it if that was me. If they died on my watch because of something I did, that would be on me.
It's not what it looks like to me. I guess that's what kind of worries me. I mean, you're gonna go into the medical profession, but you're not man enough to own up to something you did now. What's gonna happen later on?
Because I
What's gonna happen later on when the consequences are really serious? No one's hurt in this thing. This is simply a property crime. Okay, this is simply something. This is a structure. This is not even a human being. This is something relatively minor. And you can't even be honest about something relatively minor. What makes you think anyone's gonna want to talk to you when you can't
Would
be?
you admit to
when
a
you can't be out?
crime you didn't do?
I wouldn't.
Oh,
No.
there we go. Then we're at
But
even
but you
ground.
did it.
So we're done. No, I
But
didn't
you
do
did
it.
it.
That's the thing.
You did though.
So
Everything
let's
says you
let's just
did.
finish up here.
Do you want to be done talking?
We're done.
Okay, we can certainly be done talking. Doesn't bother me, but I fulfill my obligation by telling you that it does you no good later on when you get in sense and you're wearing orange and you're wearing cuffs and the judge says, well, did you do it? You say, yeah. Why didn't you tell the detectives back then? Well, I don't know. Okay, here's your 10 years, bam. Does you no good then. Now, there can be reasons. Then, there's only excuses. And that's what you're stuck with.
Can I have you sign that for me, William? Transfer that, transferring down with Vermillion now, okay? Why don't you bring your hands up and behind your back there a little bit there, just no display gun. Okay, let me know, are those too tight there? Remember what I told you when you took the ride over here? If you wiggle around too much, those will tighten up on you. We don't need those tightening up on us, okay? I'm gonna double lock them so that they don't cinch up on you, and we're gonna head out here, okay?